welcome to the month of July. July is super fun because it's summertime and we have theme weeks. So this week's theme week is red, white, and blue. So when you go to class or you take your video, we encourage you to wear red, white, and blue. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but my shirt does have red, white, and blue with the design. So I encourage you to wear your favorite red, white, and blue shirt, shorts, hats, etc. But with that being said, let's get started with class. We'll start as always with our student creed. So, feet together, hands by your side. I'm a dedicated martial artist. Student creed begin. I must develop myself in a positive manner and avoid anything that could reduce my mental growth or physical health. Number 2, I must develop self-discipline in order to bring out the best in myself and others. Number 3, I must use common sense before self-defense and never be abusive or offensive. Number 4, winners never quit, quitters never win. I choose to be a winner. Number 5, this is a black belt school. We are dedicated. We are motivated. We are on a quest to be our best. Asa. Ready. Set. Courtesy. So this month the star word is kindness. Say that. Say kindness. And what kindness means is having a warm heart, being nice to someone, seeing the humanity in someone else, and just being a human yourself as well, thinking about other people, those types of things. And oftentimes, if we think of someone who's kind, one of the first words that come to mind wouldn't necessarily be strength. However, to show kindness, you have to be a strong person. You have to have inner strength, because kindness is a quality that comes from the inside, and you have to have confidence and strength from within to show kindness. And if you think about history, some of the really strong people who really changed history also operated and moved through the world from a place of kindness. So, for example, Martin Luther King Jr. or Abraham Lincoln. So we want to challenge ourselves to move through the world with kindness. So show that inner strength to the outer world. Even in the world today, a lot of people, sports athletes that are famous in the media, oftentimes they are showing kindness when they're, on the field and off the field, because a lot of them have foundations where they donate to different causes that they believe in, or they help people in need. So when you see someone being kind, you're seeing someone being strong. And if someone asks for help from you, that's an opportunity for you to show kindness and for you to show your strength. So that's the star word for the month, is kindness. We're going to be revisiting it all throughout the month, and there'll be times for you to have an opportunity to show that strength and to be kind. So the other word we're working on, the word that we're going to get our stripe for this month, is power. Say that. Say power. In power, we're going to get a blue stripe to represent the ocean. Because if you've ever been to the ocean and you've stood in the ocean, you know how powerful the ocean is. Big waves can knock you over. Riptides can pull you in different directions. If you've ever been knocked over by a wave. So that's what we're going for. We want to have power like the ocean. And there are certain ways that we can get more power. One of those ways is through rotation. Say that. Say rotation. And what rotation is it's twisting, right? Like a wheel on a car, it rotates. It goes in a circle. Merry-go-round, it goes in a circle. It rotates. So we want to think of rotating our body. So what I want you to do, first off, is just twist a little bit, right? Twist in place, back and forth. We're not moving our feet. We're just twisting our body. Good. That's rotation. So we're going to practice now how to get more rotation. You might need to pause the video And if you do, that's fine. But you need to go get 4 objects for this drill. I'm going to use my 2 sparring gloves, a water bottle that I already have out on the ground, and my ice cream stick. When you're getting objects, you might want to think about getting objects that won't hurt if you step on them, and you won't break them if you step on them. So like something soft like gloves is most ideal. A screaming stick is probably not really ideal because like I could roll my ankle on this potentially, but I've done this many of times, and knock on wood, hoping that I don't roll my ankle on it. But pause the video, come back when you have those objects. So now you have your objects. What you're gonna do is, and you might not be able to see this too great on the video because I'm outside, but you wanna put one of the objects down, stand in between it, it's about with feet hip width apart, put the other object down, same thing, go about hip width, stand between it, put your object down, hip width, object down. So you have 4 objects in a line. Now we're gonna do a couple rounds with this. The first thing we're gonna do is get into a guard stance. So your belly button should be facing the right, your hands are up, knees are bent. All we're gonna do is pick our foot up and step over the object. Now I want you to exaggerate this a bit. I know we have pretty low to the ground objects, but I want you to really pick your foot up, like you have to step over a little wall and then put your foot down. All right, so do this along with me if you haven't started already. So our belly button is now to the left, and we have one object kind of between our legs. Hands are up. We're going to rotate, right? We're rotating our hips, stepping like we're stepping over a little wall, stepping over that next object, and putting our foot down. So what we're doing here is we're practicing rotating our hips. All right, so now your belly button's to the right, you're in a guard stance, same thing, lift that back leg up, like you're stepping over a step, rotate your hips, and now we're facing a new direction. All right, and one more time, you're gonna rotate your hips, bring that back leg up like you're stepping on a step, and land. All right, so you've got that down now. Let's do it again, a little faster. I'm just gonna say step, and what you're gonna do every time is think about going from guard stance in one direction to guard stance in the other direction, and really twisting with those hips. Your hands are staying up in guard stance. Ready? So first step, go. Good. Second step, go. Third step, go. Fourth step, go. Good, and time. So now you're gonna have about a minute. I want you to keep doing that, practice on your own. You could either do like we just did and start from the beginning, go all the way down and then go back to the beginning, or you can come down and then go right back. As long as you are rotating your hips into that guard stance every single time.
Always think about you, always thought I have a life I could grow with you. But as time fades, crazy how our lives change, feeling like a shockwave without you. Always think about you, always thought I have a life I could grow with you. But as time fades, crazy how our lives change, feeling like a shockwave without you. Always think about you, always thought I had a life I could grow with you. As time fades, crazy how our lives change, feeling like a shockwave without you. Feeling like a shockwave, 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 shockwave. Literally shockwave.
All right, nice work with that. Now we're gonna level up and add a little bit of a challenge onto this. So let's go back to the start of our objects. Now, instead of just stepping and landing, we're gonna throw a roundhouse kick and then land. So I'm going to show you what it's going to look like, and then I'm going to teach you some roundhouse skills, foundational skills, and then we'll come back to the rotation. But what we're aiming for, what our end goal is we're rotating our hips so that we can have more power when we come around with our kick. So it's going to look like this. And then we're going to land, and then every time when we land, I want to challenge you to land in a nice low guard stance. No lazy stances, okay? So before we do that, I'll come a little closer. Like I said, we're going to go over roundhouse foundational skills. So when we do a kick, we want to have the leg that's not kicking, the toes are pointing our opposite direction. So how we're going to do that for a roundhouse kick is we're going to do a little cheat step. So our front leg, which right now is our left leg, you're going to turn your toes. Alright, so instead of them facing the right, you're going to turn them so they're pretty much facing the left. So that way, when we bring up our roundhouse kick chamber, we can keep rotating our back foot. So the back foot, hopefully you can see this, is facing the back when I have my chamber up. Alright? So go to guard, turn the toe, and just practice bringing your knee up and continue to rotate that back foot. Ready? Go. Alright, and now when we bring up a roundhouse kick, we want to point our knee towards the bad person. So just watch. My roundhouse kick chamber, my knees towards the target, it's relatively flat, and my toes are pulled back. Alright, so instead of them flexing up, we're going to point them like that when we go to do the kick. Because when we kick, we're hitting with the shoelace part of our foot or our shin. Alright, so just watch again. I turn my toes, I bring my chamber up nice and flat for the most part. Again, I'm on uneven ground, so it's a little harder to balance. I already have some hard time balancing occasionally, so doing the best we can here. So let's do that with me. Ready? Guard stance, turn your toes, chamber. Good, and put it down. Now when we kick, we're going to bring the leg straight out. Again, our toes are pointed. So we're hitting with the shoelace part of our foot. That's what the kick looks like. Rechamber and down, and we can land in a nice low stance. Alright, so we're using our back leg, so we have a lot of opportunity to really rotate our hips and come through. Ready? So guard stance, turn your toes, and chamber, kick, rechamber down, and back. Let's do that again. I'm going to move so I'm not on a little hill here. Ready? Guard stance. I'm going to do it broken down, chamber kick, rechamber down for one more time, and then the last time I'll just say go, and I want you to put in all the parts together. Guard stance, turn your toes, chamber, kick, rechamber, down, and back. Now all the way through, I'm going to say go. Don't forget to do all four parts. Ready? Go. Turn those toes, chamber kick, rechamber, down. And again, land in that nice stance. Because that's now what we're going to go do in our rotation section. So you're going to, I got to fix my object here. So you're going to start, find one of your objects. You're going to get in your guard stance. Let's go all the way down together. Alright, every time I say go, you're going to do a back leg roundhouse kick, rotate and land over the object that you have. Alright, guard stance, go, kick, land. Remember, land in a nice low guard stance. Go, kick, land. Go, kick, land. Go, kick, land. And time. Alright, so same thing. This is your level 2. So now I'm going to give you about a minute. You're going to do that on your own. Again, you can come down the line and go back to the beginning, or come down and then do kicks on the way back, and so on and so forth. But you're really focusing on rotating those hips to get power as you come around with your kick and really settling in to that nice low stance.
Always think about you, always thought I have a life I could grow with you. But as time fades fades, crazy how our lives change. Feeling like a shockwave without you. Always think about you, always thought I have a life I could grow with you. But as time fades, crazy how our lives change. Feeling like a shockwave without you. Always think about you, always thought I had a life I could grow with you. As time fades, crazy how our lives change. Feeling like a shockwave without you. Feeling like a shockwave, 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 shockwave. Literally shockwave.
Alright, so we will be doing self-defense. I keep stepping back and realizing the sun is in my face because it's beautiful outside. Hopefully you're able to train outside too. But if not, that's cool. It is also kind of muggy, so I totally get it. Anyways, we're doing self-defense now. So, your self-defense is hidden sword. Say that, say hidden sword. And we call it hidden sword because we make our hand like a sword and we hide it from the bad person and then use it to strike and get away. So before we even do that, I want you to take your hand, preferably your left hand, and put it in a knife hand. So remember that's from like last form in AK2. When we do a knife hand, our fingers are close together. They're not open. They are close together. Your thumb is also tucked in. In this part, our pinky, we pretend is like a blade, right? So it's like the blade of a knife in the form. It is like the blade of a sword in this self-defense. So this is your hidden sword. So what we're gonna do is, in this self-defense, what's happening is someone has their arms out like this. They're trying to choke us, but from behind. So they're behind us with their arms around us. So imagine a bad person, right? The bad person's got their hands around around your neck like this. They're behind you, so boop, pretend they're behind me like that. We say, I don't want any trouble. And then one of the first things we want to do is hide that sword. So we're going to take our left hand, we're going to hide the sword, we're going to put it by our right ear. You're going to take a little baby step forward with your right foot, but it's important when you take the step forward, notice that I'm not really moving my body. I'm just stepping a little forward. Your body might move like a little bit, which is fine, but you're not moving forward like this. Because if you move forward like this, remember their hands are around your throat. So you're just causing yourself to be choked more, to have more pressure on your throat. So it's just that little step forward. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn towards this side that your hidden sword is, and you're gonna strike, all right? Because then you're moving their hands away from your throat. Then you're gonna throw a punch, you're gonna throw a kick, and then you're gonna take your 2 steps away. So remember, we keep our eyes on the bad person. I'm gonna step backwards in a little diagonal so you can see. We step our front foot across our other leg. We take that leg that's behind us, step out. We keep our eyes on the bad person so that front leg needs to move towards their back to step around into our guard stance. That is called covering out. All right, so let's do that again. I'll do it from the side angle again once, and then I will do it from the front so you can kind of see some different angles. And then you have some time to practice, okay? So hidden sword self-defense, someone is behind us, their hands are around our throat. We put our hands up, we say, I don't want any trouble. Hide the sword, baby step, turn and strike, punch, kick, cover out. So you're gonna step in front, step out, keep your eyes on the bad person, step around, ayah! All right, now I'm gonna do it facing front so you have that different angle. Hidden sword self-defense, someone's behind me, their hands are like this. I say, I don't want any trouble, do this with me. We'll take our sword, we hide our sword, baby step, turn and strike, punch, kick. Now I have to cover out, so I'm gonna step in front of my other foot, keeping my eyes on the target. Step out, step around, and get in that guard. All right, so that's your hidden sword self-defense. I'm gonna put some music on. I want you to practice that on your own, showing up as your best every single time for about 2 minutes. All right? Get practicing. All right, so to practice your self-defense, what's gonna happen is you're gonna see me on the screen, and I want you to follow along doing the self-defense with me. Or you could challenge yourself, and if you feel really confident, you don't have to watch along and follow with me. Just keep practicing over and over again until the music stops. All right? Get to practice. Head into our self-defense. I don't want
Wait no more. Oh, that summertime love. Need that summertime love. Gotta get it on. 'Cause I don't wanna wait no more. Oh, that summertime love. Need that summertime love. Gotta get it on. Oh, gotta get it on. Oh, dancing on our own. I know you got a place so we could be alone. 'Cause I don't wanna wait no more. Oh, that summertime love. Need that summertime love. Gotta get it on. Gotta get it on. Oh, dancing on our own. I know you got a place so we could be alone. 'Cause I don't wanna wait no more. Oh, that summertime love. Need that summertime love. Gotta get it on. I don't wanna sleep tonight, yeah. Only got your body on my mind. Wish that you could take me back there. You give me that feeling every time. 'Cause I don't wanna wait no more. Oh, that summertime love. Need that summertime love. Gotta get it on. 'Cause I don't wanna wait no more. Oh, that summertime love. Need that summertime love. Gotta get it on. Gotta get it on. Oh, dancing on our own. I know you got a place so we could be alone. 'Cause I don't wanna wait no more. Oh, that summertime love. Need that summertime love. Gotta go. I don't wanna say goodbye, yeah. When you're the only one that's on my mind. Wish that I could take you back there. The night that you'll remember all your life. I don't wanna wait no more. Oh, that summertime love. Need that summertime love. Gotta get it on. 'Cause I don't wanna wait no more. Oh, that summertime love. Need that summertime love. Gotta get it on. Gotta get it on. Oh, dancing on our own. I know you got a place so we could be alone. 'Cause I don't wanna wait no more. Oh, that summertime love. Need that summertime love. Gotta get it on.
All right, so we are gonna do action karate form 3, our part B, or true part B. All of the last, what you just did for stripe test was part A. So this will all be part B for this stripe test. So, back up so I have enough space. Feet together, hands by your side. Repeat after me. Action karate form 3, part B. Clear to see. Now, instead of getting into a guard stance, instead of getting into a horse stance, what we're actually going to do is just turn our belly buttons to the right. Very important, make sure your belly button is to the right. And we're going to stand with our feet together. We're going to do what's called the cup and saucer. This is what it looks like if you're standing in front of me. But I'm going to come closer so you can see what we're actually doing. So, a saucer is a little plate. Like a lot of times, like in England, they have tea. They put it on the saucer, the little plate, and they sip their tea. So you're taking your hand that's farther away from the bad person, which in this case is our right hand, and you're putting it with your wrist facing the ceiling or the sky up on your back hip. So it looks like that. My wrist is up. It's in a fist. It's on my back hip. That's our saucer. The cup is going to go down on top of the saucer. So our wrist, as you can see, is going to face down towards the ground. And it's going to go over the other one. So it looks like this. Our saucer is our right hand on our back hip. Our cup is our left hand on top of the saucer. And when you're in front of me like this, you can't see it. It's called a hidden technique. So you're lining it up so that the bad person doesn't see what's happening. Because our next move is we're going to take the hand that's on top, our cup, our left hand, it's going to come out and it's going to back fist. And our other hand moves up. So when I say cup and saucer, you have your saucer facing up, it's your right hand, your cup facing down, it's your left hand. And it's on your back hip, hidden away for a hidden technique. All right, so let's do that. Action Karate Form 3, Part B. Turn, feet together, belly button towards the right. Throw your cup and saucer on your back hip. Now move number 1 is you're going to take your left foot, that should be in front. You're going to step out into a guard stance, and you're going to do that back fist that I was telling you we were going to do. So the left hand is the one that back fists. And now, similar to what we've been working on with the rotation, we want to take our belly button from facing the right to face the left. So we're going to take our back foot, we're going to take a big step around, land into a nice guard stance, and throw a punch out with our right hand, which is our front hand. All right, so that's Part B. So let's do that again. Action Karate Form 3, Part B. Cup and saucer. Step out, back fist 1. Big step around, punch 2. And set. Victory. Humility. Courtesy. Man. So now what's going to happen is you're going to see me come on the screen doing the form. You can either follow along with me or practice that on your own until the music's over. All right, but what you're doing is I really want you to focus on having that rotation between that back fist and that next punch. All right, so get to practicing.
Deep like a Chevy. If you fall, I'll fall with you, baby. 'Cause that's the way we like to do it. That's the way we like. You run around and open doors like a gentleman. Tell me, girl, every day of my everything. 'Cause that's the way you like to do it. That's the way you like. Just a little West Coast and a bit of sunshine. Hair blowing in the wind, losing track of time. Just you and I. Just you and I. Whoa, whoa. No matter how far we go, I want the whole world to know I want you back, and I won't have it any other way. No matter what the people say, I know that we'll never break. 'Cause I love what I say. Made in the USA. Made in the USA. Yeah, yeah. You always read my mind like a letter. When I'm cold, you're there like a sweater. 'Cause that's the way we like to do it. That's the way we like. I'll never ever let the world get the best of you. Every night we're apart, I'm still next to you. 'Cause that's the way I like to do it. That's the way I like. We touch down on the East Coast, dinner on the skyrise. Winter is the best time for walking under city lights. You and I. You and I. Whoa, whoa. No matter how far we go, I want the whole world to know I want you back, and I won't have it any other way. No matter what the people say, I know that we'll never break. 'Cause I love what I say. Made in the USA. 'Cause baby, I'll fight the bullet. I'll take the blows for love. Whoa, our love is made in the USA. Made in the USA. Made in the USA. No matter how far we go, I want the whole world to know I want you back, and I won't have it any other way. No matter what the people say, I know that we'll never break. 'Cause I love what I say. Made in the USA. Made in the USA. Yeah, yeah. Made in the US. Made in the US. Made in the USA.
We're going to end class as always with the principles of being a black belt. So feet together, hands by your side. I'm a dedicated student of the martial arts, and I live by the principles of being a black belt. And they are integrity, concentration, perseverance, respect and obedience, self-control, humility, indomitable spirit, knowledge, power, black belt, courtesy. Give yourselves a hand.